Shalom, it's No Limit Eddie back with another video. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title. Look, check me out. Let's do the top 3 reasons why African Americans, so-called, should travel outside of America. If you guys notice the sweater that I have on, you can pick one up at nolimiteddy.com. Link is in the description. These are actually going out of style in just a few more days. I'm going to be changing up all the new merch. So make sure you guys grab one if you want to grab one that says Shalom, which is what I say in the beginning of all of my videos. Classic, legendary, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, simultaneously to that, like today's video and subscribe to that channel if you're not subscribed already. We're trying to hit 20,000 subscribers, so subscribe. Now, let's talk about it. 3 reasons why Black Americans, Hebrews, Israelites, however you want to call it. There's so many different belief systems around who Black people are. But 3 reasons why we should travel outside of America. All right. The first reason is when you leave the States, you are no longer Black. Right. So what does that mean? What does that mean you're no longer Black when you leave the States? Well, when you leave the States in itself has a very weird relationship with race. I haven't noticed that same relationship that I noticed in the States in any other country that I've been to. Now, it's not like they don't notice that you're Black. Of course they do, but you're not Black first. You are whatever nationality that passport is. So if you are a Black person and you have a Ghanaian passport, then you are Ghanaian Black. If you are American, you're Black, but you have an American passport, you are American Black. So whatever that nationality is, you're that first, and then you're Black. Versus in the States, it's just pretty much Black, right? It's pretty much all about the color. It's all about, they're pretty much the color. You know what I mean? You're more likely to be grouped up together based off of that. And so that's one of the big things that I noticed is like when I was traveling, right? When I was traveling through Turkey, I was in a Turkey International or Istanbul International Airport, which I believe is the biggest airport in the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you know, I was seeing people get held up and stopped up and things like that. And you know, it's me as being African American, right? Somebody who lived in America. Whenever there's authorities are involved, I always get a little bit of heart palpitations. Like, okay, let's see what's gonna happen. Let's see what's gonna happen. And I see some people get stopped up and all that stuff. The moment they saw that blue book, I'm going through. But the other people who didn't have that book they were of a different ethnicity. When in the United States, they would have been, you know, passed through. In this case, they weren't. You know what I mean? They were getting stopped up. They were getting held up and things like that. And I noticed that to happen in more than just that situation. But that was the first time I saw that. I was like, wow, that's a little different. So that's the first thing. So it does something a little bit different to your mind, to your psychology, to see that. Like, okay, well, I'm not just a Black person and overseas, I'm an American Black. So it's an interesting phenomenon to experience. If you have traveled overseas before and you've experienced that as well, drop a comment about your story or share your story in the comment section, all right? Reason number two, you can see America more clearly. Now, if you look at something very close up like this, right? I can only see the palm of my hand. So if somebody was just to do this to me, I wouldn't know what was in front of me. But if I move it farther back out, I can then see that, oh, this is a hand. So likewise, when you are deep inside of the trenches of America, you can't see America for what it is. You can only see it for what you are allowed to see, or from the perspective that you're at, right? But when you change your perspective, when you're outside of the country, you're going to be able to see things differently. You're going to see like, wow, that's different than what we do there, or this is different what we do here, or wow, I never knew this was that wicked, or this was that cool, or this was that unique. You know, just small examples like power. You never think twice about power, but once you get overseas, you start to realize, man, power is big. You know what I mean? Like, I need to make sure I'm in an area that got consistent power. You don't realize that if your power cut out, you don't got no water no more. Like, there's so many small things that I didn't even really know until I got over to the continent about America. So you're going to be able to see America from a different vantage point. You're going to see the trends and the traditions, the Black Fridays, the Thanksgiving, all the holiday days that are celebrated in America. I don't see celebrated here on the continent. They don't participate in such a consumerist mindset or a consumer culture from the two countries that I've lived in. From the two countries that I've lived in here on the continent, which is Egypt and Tanzania, that consumerism is not really there, potentially because people can't afford it. But the third point, your money goes farther, potentially. This is the third reason why African Americans, Black Americans, Hebrews should travel outside of America, is your money goes farther, right? I'm not saying you should live outside of America, but you should travel, at least travel outside of America and see what it's like to low-key be the top 1%. You know what I mean? Like when you leave America and go to some of these other countries, like you really enter new tax brackets, to be quite frank with you. You know what I mean? You are able to live the life that you wouldn't normally be able to afford in an environment such as the States. And so that's a cool thing to experience as well. So number one, you're not being looked at as, you know, the scum of the earth. Because like I say, you're not black first, you're American first. A lot of places you go to, you are able to see things a little. You're going to be able to come to the continent with a new, come back to America if you decide to go back with a different perspective, a different mindset, and then your money is going farther. So you get to really live a cool little life when you are traveling overseas. And I think it's something that every African American should experience and should shoot for. You know, when I was growing up, I never really wanted to travel outside of America because I'm like, America's a goat. I mean, what do I look like leaving the States? You know what I mean? My biggest travel ideology was to get an RV, all my family in there, travel around the country, eating different food spots, like state to state maximum. You know, never know, hop on a plane and so on, so on. Never had that type of ideology or mindset behind me when I was younger. It didn't come around until like 18, 19 that I said, I'm going to leave, I'm going to travel out. And it wasn't even that I really wanted to travel out, but it was just more of a spiritual thing, saying, okay, I know I'm gonna have to leave this land of Babylon at some point in time, you know what I mean? And then as that time kind of got closer, I really was ready to leave and really was wanting to leave and things like that. But yeah, that's one of the things that I say, man, you should travel if you're an African American. Now, why do most African Americans not travel? Well, it's simple. Finances, money. They're not having it. You know what I mean? They don't know how to get it. They working 9 to 5 jobs and bare minimum base model jobs because that's all they can get based off of their criminal record, based off of their employment history, based off of their skills and things like that. And really, a lot of it is based off of just racism. You know, so. What can you do about finances, being able to make more money so that you can afford to travel, right? I have a course, it's linked in my description. It's a mini course, a 50-cent course. It's going to teach you guys how I was able to, you know, basically, I didn't really quit my 9 to 5, they fired me, you know, but at the same time, not have to go back and search for another job and haven't worked a job for another basically 16 months, I think, at this point. You know, and how I'm able to transition to basically making an income fully online. So I have a mini course. It's linked in the video description. It's going to teach you, you know what I mean, one of the methods that I use to make money online. I'm selling on a platform called Etsy, and this can be done from anywhere in the world. All you need is a laptop and internet connection to actually run and operate this business. So I suggest you guys click the link in the video description. It's 50 cents. Learn how I make money. Learn how my sister makes money. Learn how I'm helping other people on the continent to get their start making money online. All right. Other than that, man, grab some merch. Link in the description. NoLimitEddie.com. And like today's video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. Let me know what country you plan on traveling to, when you plan on traveling, and what you plan on doing while traveling. All right. Peace.